Hello everyone, Brian here, Blue Collar Hot Rods, and got a round thing in a box that we're gonna get into this truck. A couple weeks ago, I think I had said I was going outside to do it. Something medical come up, not my immediate family, but kind of my extended family, so that kind of put a damper on things that week. But we're out here today. Been raining this morning, nice and muddy and wet, but we don't care. So I noticed when I did the video about the heads cam and this converter, I didn't show the converter hardly. I kept kind of pointing that direction, didn't realize it was not in my field of vision with the camera, so bad on me. But there it is. It is rated 2800 to 3000 stall. Should be plenty, definitely for the cam that's in it now, and it should be for the Summit cam that we're putting in, I'm gonna say tentatively next month. But at any rate, I'm gonna get started here and get my top bell housing bolts, and then I'll raise the truck up. But I'll periodically be turning the camera on and off because, well, I don't want this video to be hours long, so I want to get to the point like usual and show the meat and potatoes of the process. So once I get it up in the air, I will be back. All right, so we're back. Got the truck up in the air, obviously. Got the inspection cover off. Had a brain fart earlier when I said I was going to do the upper bell housing bolts from the top. With the intake off, it's not a bad job. With it on, is it doable? Yeah. Is it fun? Absolutely not. So, at any rate, I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse, and I built this exhaust to be serviceable, so this pipe I'm going to undo, take it out of the way, start doing my converter bolts, shift linkage, all my electrical connections. Drive shaft actually be next, get that out of the way. Get a spare yoke to jam in there to keep from taking too much of a bath in transmission fluid. And at some point I'm going to have to do the lines and loop them with a heater hose, put some zip ties on the end to keep, again, from trying to take a bath in that, and somewhat keep it up out of the way. But yeah, all right, we're gonna continue to trudge on here and move forward, and hopefully at the very least today I want this old one out, the new one in, and transmission all secure. And then tomorrow it's supposed to be cold for Florida. I know it gets colder elsewhere, but I think we're only looking at like 52 or 3 for the high and starting off in the low to mid 30s tomorrow. That's cold for here. But at any rate, once it warms up tomorrow, I'll get out here and I'll try and finish all my connections. That's if everything goes as planned. We all know things never go as planned, so I might have just screwed myself by saying, oh yeah, it's gonna go like this, it's gonna go like that. It may not go like that at all. So luckily I'm on a 4-day weekend. I'm off Monday as well, so got plenty of time to figure it out. So all right, well, follow along, get all aboard the sailboat, because it's bound to happen. Okay, well, I turned it off after that time lapse because I needed some more tools, obviously, for what I'm doing. So, grabbed a plethora of 15mm wrenches for the converter bolts, and grabbed the 21 millimeter for the, let's see if I can point y'all up there. Yeah. Right there, I'll just bring the camera to it. These are 21 millimeter head, front and fore and aft for the transmission cross member. So I just wanted to loosen them for now. Obviously we're not ready, and I always have a hell of a time with these connectors. I usually have to heat them with a heat gun because of the factory glue, and one of my shortcuts, because I would hate to break this or one of these connectors and have to repin one and all that, I'm just going to undo the bolts here and here and swing this all off, kind of one unit, and be done with it. It's all starting to come back to me. I haven't had to take this transmission out in a number of years. I only had to do it once after I installed the engine transmission initially. I had a cracked flex plate, and then I ended up putting this SFI approved one in, and it's way tougher. It was a chunk of change, but to me it was worth the investment. Some people, they'd just go get another used stock one or new stock one and go on, but I'm happy with my decision there. So again, your results may vary. Do what works for you. I always try and preach that. You know, I'm not here to try and sway anyone's opinions. These are all non-sponsored videos. I'm just a regular guy working in his backyard. So, all right, enough babbling and carrying on here. I'm going to get back to work, do converter bolts, and obviously the shift selector over here and cable, and then we're going to be pretty close to swinging the transmission jack in here and getting this thing out of here. All right, stay tuned, hang in there with me. So I forgot a vital and important step here. It's like it's my first day on the job. But hey, I don't hide anything. It is what it is. Might have helped if I disconnected the battery so I can drop the starter. I thought maybe for a minute, and that was my first mistake, that there was enough room on either side here to maybe cheat these converter bolts out without pulling it. It's not going to happen. So I'm going to climb up there, disconnect the positive cable, and then come down and do the right thing and pull the starter off. Get it out of my way. So, lesson learned. But for anybody watching this, there you go. Don't do what I just did. Alright, I will be back once I climb up there and take care of that. So, I feel like things are moving along decently, though. Let me see what time it is. I started on this about maybe a little after 10. It's 11:23 currently, so I'm a little over an hour into this, getting the truck on the lift, tools, etc. Stopping to talk and film, things of that nature. So I'll probably go and have lunch. 45 minutes to an hour, but by then I should have converter bolts free, the transmission jack positioned under here, cross member out. If not, the transmission pulled down itself by then. I don't know, we'll see. I don't want to get too overzealous or ahead of myself here, so let me see what I can knock out in the next 45 minutes to an hour, and then after I eat, I'm probably going to want to take a nap, but that's not going to finish the truck, so I'll come back out and get the transmission down, swap converters, get it back up in there, and I'll probably work until it gets dark trying to get it finished, because I really don't want to come out here for much tomorrow in 30-degree weather and even low 50s. Hopefully it's not windy, because that makes it worse. But upcoming, along with this video, I'm actually going to get to work on that engine run stand that I've been kind of hinting about. I bought an intake manifold for it. I've got some steel I've had kicking around for a while. It's sitting there all surface rust. I'm going to dig that out and cut my pieces and kind of go over that and get some stuff mocked up and tacked into place. But enough about that. Let me get to the task at hand here and hopefully stop making some dumb mistakes. Alright, had some lunch, got the transmission jack in place. I don't have a fancy one with chains and all. This thing's a relic that it's kind of been on loan to me for several years. A friend of my dad's, I asked him to borrow it and he let me borrow it, and when I went to give it back he said, just hang on to it, you know, I know where it is if I need it. And it's been with me since, and I'm grateful for that, because I've used it plenty and it's come in clutch several times for me. So, at any rate, ratchet strapped to the transmission. I'm gonna go ahead and set you back on time lapse, get this transmission cross member out of the way. It's already loosened up, and I'm gonna let the engine and transmission droop a little bit so that I can get in there and with about 50 extensions and knock the top bell housing bolts out. And I think, oh, and the cooler lines here, I've got to get them at some point before I get too crazy. But that's pretty much all that's left here to get this slid back and down so I can swap the torque converter out. So let me shut up and get back to work, and we'll get after it. Okay, so you missed the very drama-free lowering of the transmission removal of that big heavy SOB of a converter. We spilt a little bit, not too bad. So, alright, I'm gonna go grab the other converter and wrestle it in there. So that's the beauty of this. This one is quite a bit lighter, and I'm thankful for that. Pick it up. One. Come on. come on. And of course, this is going to give me problems. One, okay, there we go. Come on. We still got about that much to go. And it's going to fight me. Rightfully so. Okay, let's try backing it out. I got another idea. Let's see if I can kind of, okay, there's where those collars are for these notches here. Let's see if I can get them kind of close when I get, oh, maybe. We'll see, we're still not getting anywhere. We're still almost flush with the bell housing. That's not going to work. I don't even know if that went in any farther than that last time. All right, welcome back. After some second guessing and fighting with this thing, it's in, it's seated, nice and smooth. Just very tight tolerances apparently. So transmission's bolted back up. I'm about to do the lines and the cross member, and then I will do converter bolts. So I feel like we're on the home stretch and I could potentially finish this today. Don't want to get too overzealous, but yeah, it's 3:45 right now, my time. So I'll probably at least be out here another hour and 15 minutes, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes. Pick up around 6. We'll see how the weather goes. It's overcast, but it's not too bad. All right, let me quit talking and get back to work. all back together. Well, as I said that, I looked over and saw this sitting on the ground. Okay, now it's all back together. I guessed I added about 2 quarts of fluid to it, roughly, because I put some in the converter. Some of that did spill out on the ground, but got a little bit in the drain pan. I fed it, like I said, about 2 quarts of fluid, batteries reconnected, etc., etc. Everything's all hooked back up underneath. I double checked, triple checked. It's ready to go. I'm gonna go hit the key and hope for no funny noises or explosions. I'm sure it'll be good for the views though if it does that or catches on fire, but I'm hoping not. This still is the daily driver until I can go to work on the 2500 HD, which it's going to be a few more months before I can get to that. First start. Alright, well, it doesn't sound any different than it normally does. That's a good thing. I'm going to let it get up to temperature. Then I'll move it back and forth on the lift a few times and make sure I have gears. If I don't, I know the fluids level is off, obviously, and it needs more fluid. And I'll just slowly add like half a quart at a time until I get it to have forward and reverse gears. But tomorrow we will, it's getting late, it is about 20 after 5. It's been a damn long day for me. Tomorrow, like I'm saying here, we'll drive it around, we'll get all the air pockets and whatnot out of it and get the fluid levels right, and then we'll take it for a few quick rips and see how it does. It's definitely, like I said in the other video talking about the heads cam in this converter, it's definitely at least 20 pounds lighter. Probably closer to 25, honestly. That factory converter is a really, really heavy SOB. Because I'm not going with a real radical converter, maybe I'll pick up a little bit of fuel mileage. Wishful thinking, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But thanks for hanging in there, and like I said, watch for that other video to drop where I take it tomorrow. I'm going to actually try and edit and publish this one tonight, so Friday night, and then Saturday's tomorrow, and I will go drive it around in the morning while it's cold and add some fluid, and like I said, hopefully everything's good and great. As of right now, it seems like it's fine. So thanks for hanging in with me.